The problem was not in the role allocation. To me, it was obvious, and I said that. The problem's not in the role. We just had some bad hires. So if we were to look at Queenstown from an objective perspective, our number one objective was to create an incredible client experience. And I think we absolutely fucking nailed that. Like, I really think we all did that. So well done, everybody. One of the things I really want you guys to embrace is the importance of mistakes and making them in an intelligent way. Every challenge that you're going to come up against from now on is going to be feedback that is by design there to show you what you need to know. And if you create an environment where you get angry at yourself for making mistakes, or if you resent the mistakes that you make, you're not going to learn. You're going to be constantly resenting the very thing that you need in order to give you the skill, the experience, the knowledge. And you need all of those three. In order to get the skills, knowledge, and experience, you're going to start moving forward. And when you move forward, you're going to make some mistakes because you're not going to have all the skills, knowledge, and experience to get there, but you can see where you want to go. And when those mistakes happen, they are by design there to say, hey, listen, this is something you need. This is a skill you haven't mastered yet. And if you maintain the perspective that every situation is an opportunity, it allows you to move forward at a much more rapid rate of knots.
You know, if I'm not making mistakes, I'm playing a safe game. These complaints are nothing more than a pattern and a signpost to say, there is a skill set that you don't have right now that you need. And if you can get it, you're going to be fucking better.
I see this every day in business with the clients that we work with. We have some clients that are so afraid of making mistakes that they do nothing. Our culture has a very different relationship with failure. Not everyone has fully embraced it to the level that, you know, makes it effortless.
There's no judgment here. You can get upset, you can have snot, you can do whatever you want. It's all good. I just want, my goal for this conversation is to come out the other side with you being excited about an opportunity.
Because you have good days and you have bad days. When you have bad days, they get worse. When you have good days, they get better. And the challenge is for us is, you know, how do you turn a bad day around? And from my perspective is you balance it. And the way that you balance is you go, okay, what's not going right? This isn't happening, but what am I learning from this? What are the skills that I'm getting? What's the experience?
To me, this is a reason for you to actually get really excited.
How do you feel?
Yeah, no,
you're okay?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Obviously, we've already started advertising for the role. So we are moving to support you. What we don't want to do is burn you out. So we're very conscious of that. So the only thing I would ask, well, I'd ask for many things, but the most important thing is just really keep your communication open.
Yeah.
If you're getting, that sinking feeling, or if you're getting that overwhelmed feeling, just let us know, because we will support you. FaZe has decided to take 4 months out. So at this point, FaZe is going to be moving on. There's every possibility he will be coming back in 4 months. It just depends on who fills that role and how soon it gets filled, and the calibre of the person that fills that role as we move forward. It's really unfortunate. His last day was actually last Friday. I know I think he is going to be coming back in at some point to say goodbye. He's going to try and come back in. Look, I guess the beauty of the challenge that we've had, the turnover we've had in that role is, this is nothing unusual. This is like Monday, really. Yeah, so it is what it is. If anyone has any questions, please, now's the time to do it. There's nothing that I haven't told you that hasn't already transpired. We're not holding anything back. But if you've got any questions, please feel free to fire away. When FaZe resigned, we got his email, and I was just like, and Kristen she said what I was thinking, but I didn't want to put words out there. She goes, it's almost like that role is cursed. I was like, never, ever utter those words ever again. Look, it's all good. But I tell you what, yeah, by the end of this, we better be bloody fucking good at recruitment. I'm going to say somewhere between 1 to 2 years, we struggled to recruit someone for the event management role and the event coordination role. Initially we were trying to have it as a single person role. We realised early on that it was way too big a role for just one person with the amount of events that we run. So they went and opened up the scope to 2 people, and we just burned through people in that department, in that role. And was Merrin strong enough to run the events department at that time? Here's the thing, no,
but yes. In that moment, no, but she stepped up to the plate, which made it a yes. You know, because I was worried, and it was less about can she do the job and more about burning her out and making sure that we didn't burn her out, because I knew early on she was good talent. I knew early on she was going to be someone that sticks. I knew early on she was a very strong cultural fit. You know, background in, you know, elite level athletics, you know, competitive sports person. She had all of the traits that we were looking for, the attention to detail, the almost obsessiveness to detail, the desire to learn, the sponge-like qualities. But I was just worried that I was going to burn her out and that we would end up losing her, not because she couldn't do the role, that she didn't enjoy herself, but because we burn her out.
All right, Sydney, we're getting ready for a big night. Apparently you guys are showing up slow. There's a bit of traffic outside. All right, we have some nice seats here for you. Hey, Purpose Girl. I want you to understand something. You have changed hundreds, if not thousands of lives. I've received so many messages from people who are saying, I'm so glad she asked that question.
I find myself lost as in what I want to do.
Just trying to find direction.
The purpose?
Yeah,
Purpose.
direction.
Finding a purpose starts with a question. What am I here to do?
That video has changed lives, like at the highest level. So you did a really good thing. Remember that guy that the PR guy was talking about, Mark Ritson, who's really anti-social, the marketing professor? I watched one of his videos this morning. Really interesting. Wickedly smart guy. And his argument is that TV's not dead, print's not dead, radio's not dead, and social is a joke. That's his perspective. He's basically saying all social networks are committing marketing fraud because they consider a view after 3 seconds. And I was like, well, fucking, you know, he's got a really good point there. But what he didn't talk about, which is what I was most interested in, sure, you could be watching 20 hours of TV a week, but the question is, what are they doing? What are the consumers doing when the commercials come on? And I bet a very high number of them are hitting mute and getting onto Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat to see what's going on.
We're going to say K-Team. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
K-Team!
So Marie's spoken with Brendan about that. I'm going to have a chat with Brendan today. But I've become aware that he's encouraged you 3 times to slow down.
Yeah.
Just talk me through the language that he used.
So it was usually centered around, like, do you have a social life? Dude, why are you here so late? Dude, why are you here so early? Like, just normal stuff.
Okay. And what does that mean to you? Like when he says those things?
I've had to like shell that off since I was like younger, so I didn't pay much attention. That's why when you said how did you address it? Oh, you said something like that. I kind of, looking back now, it was an opportunity to give a more direct response than I should have. I went to my old pattern of responding, which is like I just block it out because I'm sick of listening to it.
Okay. I'm going to address the fact that I'm aware, but I think it would really probably be a great opportunity for you guys to build your relationship if you also addressed it directly with him and apologise to him for not actually addressing it directly the moment that it happened.
Yeah.
And say that you didn't realise what was going on until after the effect, until after the fact. You've got to understand how mammals work. Like in order to maintain order in a mammalian environment, you know, if one horse starts behaving in a way that the rest of the higher hierarchy of the pack don't like, they don't come back 4 hours later and give him a kick. They literally go over straight away and they grab him by the ear and they yank him and give him a kick. That's mammal behaviour, and if you want to correct mammal behaviour, it has to be done as quickly, has to be done immediately. And that's what leadership is. Leadership is having the balls when you see these things to actually, you know, engage immediately, call it out in the most non-judgmental and firm and authoritative way, because leadership is a spectrum of behaviours whereby you need to know how to be as soft and as gentle and as not judgmental as possible in the right situations. But in other situations, you need to learn how to fucking like really step up and become, in some cases, maybe slightly aggressive if that's what's required. Not to the point of intimidation, not to the point of being rude, but to the point where, you know, people know that you mean business and you will fight to protect the things that you love. You know, and then at that point, if people are still willing to fight, then you realise, then they shouldn't be here. You know? So I need you to be on full alert, mate. I need you to be, you know, aware of everything that's going on. As you know, your essay has to be off the charts. You know, even while you're having conversations, if you
notice he's dropping a line, you throw an ear that way, because my concern is, you're a stronger posture here. But if he starts getting into Sagar's head, or if he starts getting into Jane's head, and I'm hoping as of today we can correct this and it never happens again. But my concern is what's happened up until now. If you look at this in a 10-year window, we've got US to conquer, we've got the UK to conquer. I need to clone myself in a way, in essence. And right now, you're that guy, if you want it.
I appreciate you giving me the feedback, because I can see now that I shouldn't have gone with a previous pattern. I should have addressed it directly.
That's cool. I know that you get it now. And I'm not beating you up, because this is merely an exercise in awareness.
This is really great. Yeah, thank you.
You want to grab Brendan?
Yeah. I can't wait, Eric.
Yeah, it's interesting. Wow, fuck, this is really trippy. Yeah, it's really trippy. Like going back, like so much has just happened in the last 18 months. But it just reinforces what I already know, which is the fundamentals of human behaviour. We're mammals. And when we're in an environment where people are behaving differently to us, we either adapt and adopt the behaviours that are different to us, or we try and influence those around us to adapt and adopt to the behaviours that we're demonstrating. And it's the biggest opportunity for performance, but it's also the greatest threat for performance as well. How are you, champ?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, mate, unstoppable. Look, I think there's always an opportunity for learning, and that's why I just wanted to, grab some time with you and just really connect and see how you are. This is a high-performance environment, and we take, as much as we encourage each other to work really smart and work really hard, we also got to make sure that we look out for each other and take care of each other. And that means if someone's working to the point where they're fried, like Jane the other day, at 4:30 she was completely fried, so she went home, no dramas. But it's important to be aware of sometimes when people are outperforming us, that creates this kind of internal threat where it's like, I've got two choices here. I either have to step up my performance, or I pull theirs back to feel comfortable. I hope you can feel that there's no judgment with anything that's happened, because anything you've done, I've done fucking 10 times worse, okay? I want you to know that. So there's a lot of compassion, there's a lot of empathy, and a lot of understanding, but my philosophy always, once awareness is there, there's now no excuse. Prior to this conversation, and your conversation with Maria, it would be fair to say that there was a lack of awareness, and I have to take partial responsibility for that. But now that we're aware, there's no excuse. I've got another intent for having this conversation, because I actually see you at some point in the next 12 months actually stepping into a leadership position. And just so that you know, a leadership position in this company is not a title, it's a behaviour. And as I say with Eric, Eric, if you want to be a leader, just act like one, and people will see you and treat you as a leader. And I actually look at you and I see you someone, you've got posture, you've got strength, you've got that charisma as well, you've got that authoritative tone. I see you as having the potential to be a great leader. So the conversation I'm having with you right now is essentially preparing you to have this conversation potentially with someone else in the future. Does this make sense? Every single person in that team looks up to you, because you've just got that kind of energy. So with that comes great responsibility. Sagar looks at you, looks up to you. Jane looks up to you. Eric looks up to you. And I know a lot of people look up to Eric as well. Almost everyone looks up to Eric for all the right reasons. But certain people have a certain charisma that they carry that just kind of innately draws attention to them. And you've got a bit of that. And I'd love to see you use it for the right, and use it for good, and use it for, for power. And I'd love people to be coming in and going, fucking hell, that Brendan, he's a machine. And, the context of that could be, he has the ability to plow through any objection. He just jumps on the phone. There's no core reluctance there. He's the guy that stays back and encourages us to work harder when we feel like giving up. I see you having that opportunity, because I want everyone in this business to be a leader in some way, shape or form. But you've got to have that desire to be an example. And leadership isn't just about being a leader in the office. It's about what you take home. It's about how you show up around your family. It's about how you show up around your friends. It's a behaviour that just is pervasive. And I'd love, if you're open, and more importantly, if you're committed and if you're serious, to actually nurture that within you. The reason I give everyone the opportunity, and I literally offer everyone the leadership opportunity, is because that's what leadership is. Leadership isn't about staying at the top and keeping everyone following you. Leadership is about how do I create as many leaders as possible so I'm not needed. And it's not that I don't want to be needed. I would kind of feel a little bit weird if I wasn't completely needed. But for a business to scale, that's what's required. I think it's not just that business needs more leaders. I think humanity needs more leaders. I think families need more leaders. I think communities need more leaders. And leadership is a behaviour, but it's also a responsibility of awareness, like being aware of the effects that we have on those around us by setting an example that people might follow.
Can you have too many leaders?
No, you can't have too many leaders. You can have too many egos, but that's why one of the most important concepts in leadership is checking your ego at the door. You know, because if you don't check your ego at the door and you have two leaders in the same department, they'll be competitive. But they'll be competitive in an unhealthy way. There's nothing wrong with healthy competition, but when you've got unhealthy competition where you've got two egos coming together, that's what creates clash. What is that fear that prevents people from scaling? And I actually believe there is a fear around leadership which relates to the unconscious acknowledgement that if I actually have to lead a team, I'm gonna have to actually stand up in front of these motherfuckers and say shit. Now that in itself is a big challenge. That in itself is a massive challenge. And I believe fundamentally for some people could be a root cause as to why they're actually not scaling faster. And this moves into the second reason that I believe people fail when it comes to scale is the lack of ownership. Because sometimes when people scale, you know, they might have challenges and they go, well, I've got the wrong talent. And it's like, no, the wrong talent isn't the problem. You know, it was the recruitment process that you used to get that talent. It was the onboarding process that you used to integrate that talent. You know, it's the culture that you've developed that has enabled that talent, either for the good or for the bad.
I hired somebody, not in social. We hired that Danny chick. Danielle,
Hi.
how are you?
How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Sorry, I'm a bit early.
That's okay. It's actually worked really well.
Oh, good.
The HR chick? Yeah, she's great.
She's coming in the office, or?
Yeah, she's going to be working in here. Starts 2 weeks.
Remember this day.
We will remember this day because there's been so many days where you've said, we just need to hire. I'm like, we just need the HR person. We get the HR person in, it'll solve everything. And we now have a HR person. So let's see if it solves everything. Well, that's the thing. We got to the point where we need our own HR person. We've tried recruitment agents, we've tried recruiting ourselves. We need someone to come into the business who understands the culture, who is in the culture, who can recruit for the culture in the culture. And we thought that was going to be the answer. And oh God, fuck. There's another brand that we want to launch, which is cool. So we want to launch a podcast, a blog, and a whole social media presence with that brand.
Okay.
And just on that, to give you an idea, like that's an enormous amount of work, both design and development and deployment.
My priority now, and then we can try and get these out.
So happy to have you here. This is a fucking relief.
Be here.
It's a practice run. I felt like that Russian guy on the dating video. One more time. You ready? Hey guys, my name is Kerwin and I'm the CEO of Business Mastery International, where for the last 16 years we've been one of Australia's preeminent educators when it comes to fast growth for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And I need a community manager, more salespeople, in-house designer, personal assistant. Our team are high performers, but we are culturally centric. So not only are we looking for someone who can perform at a high level, we're also looking for someone who wants to be a part of something than just a money-making machine. That's it.
We just need more leadership in the department.
I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
You guys are finishing where I started.
We got to but we had to get there ourselves.
It's not the role, it's the people. It's not the role.
But there's no harm in trying something.
No, I agree, but it wasn't. But the problem was not in the role allocation. To me, it was obvious, and I said that the problem's not in the role. We just had some bad hires. It's as simple as that. So, if we're all on the same page, that's fine. Yeah, flexibility. Let's go with the current round that you've got the talent pool there. See if there's anything that's a bit more mature, a little bit more experience. If no good, we'll go back and start from scratch. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Our goal is to recruit people that are, have similar values to ourselves. So the values that we have up on the wall there, they're not, because sometimes when people put values on a wall, they become the goal. Our values aren't our goals. Our values have been elicited from things that we just do naturally and organically as a part of who we are as a team. They're not things that we aim for, they're what we start with. We take this shit really seriously. And everyone in this organisation is driven to protect this. They will throw, like myself, I will throw myself in front of a bus to protect this culture. Because that's how serious I take it. And we're going
I might be driving the bus.
Chances are she's driving the bus and accelerating. One of our highest values would be we practice open, honest communication. Anytime there's a challenge, it's addressed immediately, either on a group basis or an individual basis, or in some cases both. And yeah, it's just an environment that most people are not used to, because they go, wow, you guys talk about everything. It's like everything. Great to meet you, brother.
The work's there, Les.
One of your number one values is we practice open and honest communication, and you force that. You have segments in your meetings, it's what's left unsaid. You notice something going on and you address it immediately. It creates this very high level of not only transparency, but it creates a very high level of accountability, but also creates a very high level of trust. Because people are going, well, I know people aren't talking behind my back. I know if they've got something to say, they're going to come and say it straight to my face. This is really interesting, because one of the things that I know about myself is I love harmony. Like, I'm a Libran, right? And so Libran is all about balance. It's all about harmony. It's all about diplomacy. And so for me, my insides function differently when I'm not in a harmonious environment. And I can walk into an environment and have no one say anything, and I can know if the environment's in harmony. I am constantly chasing harmonious environments. I'm constantly chasing harmony. It's not that we don't have tense, anxious, or erratic, or chaotic environments from time to time. From time to time we do, and then sometimes they serve a purpose, because we might be trying to push and meet a deadline. But if it's not meeting a purpose and I feel it, then I'll address it immediately. And I think that creates a high level of trust within the team. Fundamentally, the team know that I will always protect the culture. I'm always protecting the harmony. I honestly think harmony is a real key word there. Like, it's that harmony that makes people feel. It's what they feel, it's the vibe. Hello, kids. Jesus, fucking quiet in here. Where is everybody? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I did not expect that. All right, I gotta go to the toilet. I'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Oh, wow, thank you. Oh, this is awkward. When is my birthday?
It's on Sunday.
Is it? Oh, wow. Holy smokes.
Happy birthday for Sunday.
Right, okay. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. This is so cool, guys. Thank you. So this is what it looks like when it's your birthday in this office. So these two. Come on, guys. Everybody come in. Massive hug. Thank you. Come on, you boys. It's not contagious.
You're not quite sure yet.
Thank you so much, guys. I love you lots. Love you, love you, love you lots. And if I could say one thing I'm really grateful for, it's you guys. Happy birthday to you, mushroom top. Day to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Woo-hoo. When you look at the team now, because what was there, like 9 people there, 8 people there? But when you look at the team now, almost 30, it's still got the same feel. It's still got that same vibe, it's still got that same family energy, it's still got that same level of care and that level of love. And it sounds so repetitive, but I'm just so grateful. If your destiny is not to be an entrepreneur, your destiny should be to find a business where you can express your talents and express the things that you're good at in an environment where people genuinely care about you and you have fun every day. Even just yesterday when we were leaving, there was just so much laughter in the office, so much happiness, and it's almost like Christmas, but it's like Christmas here every day. But aren't we doing Hey Kerwin?
I know. It's a dilemma. Hey Kerwin or Hey Kerwin?
I think we should change it to Hey Kerwin. Oh, okay.
Intro.
Dun 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 dun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first show of Hi Kerwin. This is our pilot episode. So on the very first announcement, on our very first show of Hi Kerwin, our very first announcement is that we're changing the name of the show from Hi Kerwin to Hey Kerwin. We did it! We did it! Hey! Well, you can see the production value with the paper sign. This is early days, and I'm pretty sure Matthias made that paper sign as a joke. I hope he did. It certainly wasn't on brand. Not that we had a brand really at that point from a design perspective. But yeah, I'm a quick start, which means I just start thinking. I get an idea and I want to run with it straight away. Matthias is the same, which is great. And so we literally came up with. We didn't come up with the idea. The idea was already out there, but we started talking about doing it, and we literally let's just do it. What are we going to call it? We can't call it Ask Kerwin. What convinced me is the very first question that I saw on a visitor post on Facebook. Someone didn't say, hi Kerwin, they said, hey Kerwin, my question is, and I went, hey Kerwin, I was like, that sounds so much better. Why don't we just call it Hey Kerwin? And Hey Kerwin was born.
A lot of people think we launched Hey Kerwin as a rip-off to Ask Gary, Ask Gary V. And Gary certainly set the pace. He certainly, creating that interface where he could answer people's questions directly, with his community. But one of the reasons that I did it, apart from the fact that I could see it was working with Gary, is where I thrive is in Q&A. Like where I thrive is in the ability to think strategically, think creatively, think tactically, think on my feet, think fast, and be able to, diagnose, assess, assimilate information very quickly, and then prescribe, in most cases, strategies that are really practical, really functional. So for me, it was really a way to create an interface between myself and my audience, and create connection, create engagement, and really start to find out, what were the things that were keeping them up at night? What were the things what did they see as their biggest problems? What were their biggest concerns? What were the things that they worried about? Because I think any industry, any business, the more they understand about what their customers' biggest issues are, what their customers think about, or what their customers fantasize about, or what they read about, or what their concerns are, or their issues, or the challenges, their problems, the more we understand about our market, the easier it is to communicate to them. So for me, Hey Kerwin was not only a way to engage and connect, but it was also a way for me to really find baseline data.
What have you got, like a cough, sniffles?
I had migraine yesterday, just bad headaches.
You supplementing?
Yeah, I've taken vitamin C, I've been taking hot lemon water, lots of green tea.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm coming this morning just to smash out the really important stuff that has to get done.
And then go home. Look after yourself. We need you strong for Nissi. Nissi's next weekend, right? Yeah, take it easy. Your health is a priority. Okay, Marion, if you're going to stay, you have to quarantine yourself. Because for real, you guys need to think about this. Like, if you guys all go down, we're screwed. Okay? So, Marion,
Bye, Marion.
you have to go home. You need to go and get some rest. You can work at home, but just rest yourself, and because if everyone comes down and this ends up being a really bad bug, we're all screwed. So we got to think smart. There's no one man more important than the team.
Marion should work from home tomorrow.
Yeah.
She should
Totally
go
okay.
take her shit.
I want you to work from home tomorrow. How do you feel about doing that? Oh. I've never copped devil eyes from Marion before. I just need, next week is going to be so heavy on you. Like, you've never done a Nissi before, like this.
Yeah.
And I need you in top form. So I need you, sleeping in, getting lots of rest, taking care of yourself, and take your pills.
I took one.
All right, get some rest. All right, see you there.
Well, I think high performers sometimes don't know their own limits, and I know that from myself. One of the reasons that I have experienced chronic injury is because I feel pain, but I know how to push through it. But sometimes there are certain pains that you don't need to push through because it's actually a pain that's telling you to stop. And I've also done this when I've been sick. I've had a bug coming on, and it's like, well, fuck the bug. I rule this body, not the bug. And then I end up getting so much sicker because I don't take the time, to rest. I wasn't just protecting Marion, I was also protecting the rest of the team. Because sometimes you get these heroes that come in and go, well, I'm going to work while I'm sick. And then you have instead of having one person sick, you now have 26 people who are sick, or 20 people who are sick, or a half of your team that is infected. And then it's like, well, at least I got the job done. Well, no, you got the job done, but you fucking put everyone else's income in jeopardy, and you put the income of the business in jeopardy, because if you've got a team of 20 people, 10 people, and you get half your workforce go down with an illness, they're the kind of things that can create massive disruption in a business. And so for me, that's why we have, if someone's sick, we have a number of options. Go home. You're sick, go home. Okay, well, I'm sick, but I'm trying to meet deadlines and I really want to work. All right, fine, you're in quarantine, which means you can work. If you really want to work, okay, you can, but you have to do it from home. And then we have the lower level quarantine, which means if you come in here and you're just a little bit sniffly, then you put on a face mask and you can go and work in offices if that's what you want to do. Some people just don't think big. They don't think broad. They think about themselves and what they've got to prove. And you've never got anything to prove in this environment. It's all about just doing the right thing.
Okay. All right, guys. So Thursday, 10th of November, 6:30 p.m. We will be arriving on site, as will the crew. At 7 o'clock, we will kick off our crew bump-in. So AV will be arriving on site. Nesta and John Brands, all the rest of the crew will be arriving on site.
The biggest challenge for most of us is going to be dealing with the emotions that come up that hijack our intentions. Because you might be very pure, you might have your intentions pouring out, but then all of a sudden it doesn't work. You start going, fucking knew it, this shit never works, it always happens to me. We're now talking about emotional attachment. Emotional attachment has to do with if the probability doesn't work in our favor, what is our relationship with it not coming into form? Does this make sense? And I actually tend to believe that the less attachment that you have, the more powerful that you actually are. Not necessarily because it amplifies your intention, because you're not affected by the result. It could happen or it doesn't, but either way, you're like, doesn't bother me. Let it go, let it go. This is the most fun I've probably had at an event so far. Yeah. Something shifted on the way, like on the lead up to this event, and I don't know. Something's different. I can't put my finger on it, but all I know is I've let go a lot, and it's just more fun. A lot of happy. Ooh, Bickies. But he's actually come all the way from Virginia, the United States, and apart from that, he also looks like Jason Bourne. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Thomas Blackwell! All right. Spit it out. You chat? You're welcome, buddy. Did you hear the good news? Oh yeah, I did. Your sponsorship got approved.
2020.
Oh my God, that's fucking amazing. Oh dude. Yes.
What happened to the gong?
That's a fucking gong-worthy moment. Matthias has just got approved for sponsorship. Woo! Fuck, that was a bit louder than I thought it would be. You! Are you happy?
Yes.
When Matthias' sponsorship came through, like that was a huge moment for me. It was almost like the wedding certificate showing up, and I was like, oh my God, now we're official. you won't leave me. You know, we became super tight, super close, super fast. And anyone who meets and gets to know Matthias knows straight away he's got a huge heart. You know, he's got an incredible creative mind. He is a sponge, you know, he's got very little ego, but he's just got this quirkiness about him that is just lovable. When I hire, I'm always thinking long. I even ask people the question, like, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? You know, because I think, you know, many people treat their employment like they do their relationship status. You know, some people are looking for one-night stands, some people are looking for a casual thing, and some people are looking for a committed long-term thing, whether they can put down roots and become secure. And I'm always looking for the later. So when I hire, I'm really looking for someone that will put down roots, that will be here long-term for a number of reasons. Number one, it's great for the culture to have people that have been around for a long time. Number two, it saves money on having to recruit and replace people. And number three, it just creates this, you know, this level of security and this level of certainty and this longevity whereby you build, because relationships typically get stronger over time if they're managed the right way. And you look at the environment we have now, like we say, you know, one of our values is we are family, and that's evident by the fact of the way that we support each other. It's evident by the fact that we all hang out, like we all socialise together. You know, we have barbecues together. On weekends we often hang out together. I know, you know, many people in this office, they've become each other's best friends. And that to me is something that's important, and it only really comes from people that are looking for something that is, you know, that is longer term. I had a guy apply via video. Like, he seemed like a really nice guy. Here it is.
social media coordinator on Facebook, which I'm going to apply for.
Absolutely. Well, you almost weren't put through. And the only reason you were put through is because I said, no, I want to see him. I liked his video. Because you didn't have the community management experience, but we're here and now. Okay, just a short, quick announcement. I know Bren's on the phone, but we can all keep him in the loop. Our goal for this year was, which we hit on Monday. Okay, our stretch target was, and we just hit it just now.
What?
Yeah, we just hit. So well done, everyone. Now the stretch target. Show me the money. Show me your quan, Jerry. Show me your quan. I want to hear you. But I want to hear you, Jerry. I can't hear you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
I can't hear you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
You sound like some white cracker boy. I can't hear you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
To me, hitting our financial targets, it's just a performance indicator. Like, I stopped measuring my success based on the amount of money that I make a long time ago. But again, it's not about the amount of money that I make, but it's about hitting the goals that we set for ourselves. Because it might be easy for you to say, well, we didn't hit our target, but it's not about the money. For me, it's not about the money, it's about the target. It's about the goal. When we hit targets, it's all about scale. It's all about, right, what's next? Whether it be scaling the targets and scaling the goals, or then going, right, okay, we've now just hit this financial target. What are we going to do with it? Okay, well, we need bigger offices, we need bigger team. And I've been trying to grow this team consistently for the last, 4 or 5 years. I've really been in growth mode, and I've been really just trying to make more and produce more capital and more profit, which then you can use to reinvest to build more team, more infrastructure. And everything we see around us right now, the fact that we've got a beautiful kitchen, the fact that we've got a beautiful timeout area, the fact that we've got a ping pong area, the fact that we've got a gym here, like all of those things, to me are rewards for the team as a result of us hitting targets.
Hey, Matthias. Kitties. I always say, good morning, kitties.
Is it kitties like meow, or is it like
small goats?
Kitty.
Kitty. Adriana. ¿Cómo está? Yeah. That was so fast. Now it's in my fucking head, John. Now, I don't know about you, but 2016 has been a massive year for us. It's been a massive year for me personally. Can anyone relate? Who's had a big year this year? Where this weekend we're going to be diving very deeply into some social media tactics and implementation, as well as some strategy. You guys a little bit excited? Yeah.
Please give it up for Mr. Kerwin Ray!
We got a dog. Thanks, gentlemen. I have to say, it's pretty humbling to be up here tonight and to be with you guys and to walk around the room and hear the stories of transformation that have taken place. For some people, as in a short period of time as 6 weeks and 3 months, and others, over the time that we've been here. I can't tell you how many people who told me that this wouldn't work. I flew to the US and I spent some time with some top marketers who run some top masterminds, and everyone said to me, you will not be able to do what you want to do and get it beyond 25 people. You will not be able to maintain the culture beyond 25 people. And I said, yes, we will. And everyone said, no, you won't. And we grew to 20, 25 people. We set the culture. We then grew to 35 people and we set the culture, it maintained. Then it was 55 and then 70 and 75. And this year we were very fortunate to crack, we're well over 100 now. I think we've got 100 and, what is it, Marie? How many people?
142 people in K2 Elite now.
Because people tell you stuff's impossible all the time, and you say, well, impossible is nothing more than I'm possible, and that's a little bit cliche. But I've got to the stage in my life now, whenever someone tells me I can't do it, like it almost flicks a switch in my head that literally goes, let me fucking show you you're wrong. I had the accident on my wrist when I was 15. I was told I was going to be disabled. I was like, I'm going to prove you wrong. I am absolutely, I was driven with every cell in my body to prove the doctors wrong. I was told I was a learning disabled and I'd never learn the same way as other people. And now it's less about proving people wrong and just proving to myself what I can do. Whether it be one more rep in a workout, whether it be, disciplining myself and, not drinking alcohol for a year or, whatever. Like for me, it's just like, how far can I push this? What can I do? And the advice that I have to anyone who's been told that you can't do that is there's two ways that you can do things. You can do things to prove people wrong, or you can do things to make yourself happy. So sometimes we need to be focusing on what are the things that we want to be proving that are possible, that are actually important to us, that will actually fulfill us and serve us and give us something that we don't already have.
The relationship that you will build with a filmmaker will probably be the most important relationship that you have, because these people will see you at your best and they'll see you at your worst. And my intent when I embarked on the social experiment was to take the transformation from in the room and share it with the rest of the world so we could actually transform people outside of the room. And the testament to the thousands of messages that we've received in the last, since May 30, of the people whose lives have been changed, whose families have been changed, I can't take all the credit. I can only take very little of the credit, because if it wasn't for you, mate, it would still be only the people in this room that were able to transform. There's one thing that I can share with you is the importance of just keep going. Trust the process, and I promise you, it will all work out for the best as long as you manage what it means. You guys have got this. I trust you and I believe in you. So until next year, guys, it's time to dance, have some fun, enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know what it looks like, but this is what it looks like when you're doing annual planning and you're sick and you realise that no one man is more important than the mission. So I'm actually wearing this because I don't want to infect my team, but we've got 2 days to set up next year and I have to be here. No fucking excuse. But typically I would never do this. Just a little bit of a setup for this weekend. This weekend is really about just setting us up for 2017. 2017 is going to be a big year. We have more than doubled this year, and our goal is to maintain the same trajectory of growth for next year, which is to double again. And with all of the resources that we're looking to bring on with the support of Danny, we're putting ourselves in pole position to do that. We're also looking at real estate resources as well to be able to move into. I went and looked at a property yesterday. But this year is about creating next year before it actually happens and getting really clear on the things that we have to do, specifically in the first quarter, to set up the rest of the year for what it is that we're trying to accomplish.
I would agree. There seems to be a level of tolerance that is unacceptable around when things aren't working. We just wait. And I'd like to see that tolerance. I'm all for tolerance, but I'd much rather hear people or see people acting on the issues that are there rather than putting up with them. After Marie interviewed Eric, Marie spoke to me and gave me a download. Our first, and I just want you guys to understand our thinking, our thought processes. Our first thought process was, okay, let's bring him here today and we'll have open discussion, because we always have open discussion, and we'll give you guys the opportunity to have a leadership opportunity to actually communicate your feelings and give him the opportunity to step up. After Marie then interviewed Jane, we just decided it was past the point of, it was at the point where we weren't going to work. I'm not going to risk anyone being in this organisation. I'm not going to give anyone the chance in this organisation just to be resuscitated in the hope that they make it and potentially affect everyone else. There's not one person, there's no one that will survive that test. It's just not, we've made that mistake too many times.
So the decision to remove was done to protect you guys. And it's important that we maintain this high standard, because what we do here is going to impact and implicate the culture of K2. If you look at K2, K2 is a replica of this culture, which is it's open and honest, it's transparent, and it's a byproduct of. So it's really important that we do this not just again for ourselves, but also understand the greater implications at large. Excited for tomorrow. It's going to be a great day. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Nice day. All right. How does this look? Oh yeah. Still say I am so excited about today. We have so many. The accomplishments are going to be incredible. Think bigger picture. Think longer term. Think not so much where you want to be in the next 12 months. Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? Because this business could be setting you up for that if that's what you want.
Jesus.
Oh no. Okay. Take a breath. Okay. I got it.
Kerwin.
I got it.
Okay, I need to talk to Brucey.
We both need to talk to Brucey.
Kerwin.
It's okay. Take a breath. It's okay.
I need to go and see Brucey. I need to get in a cab and go to Brucey. Oh my God. Okay, breathing. Bruce,
it's Kerwin and Marie.
Bruce, I'm coming to you.
Where are you?
Brucey, I'm coming. I'm coming right now, Bruce.
Sorry?
Brucey, I'm coming right now.
Thank you.
I'm going to talk to you the whole way there, Brucey. I'm going to talk to you the whole way there. Okay? It's all right, Brucey. Just stay with me. I'm on my way. Okay? Just keep talking to me, Bruce. Where's Hannah and where's Ben? Okay, Brucey.
You okay?
Yep, I can do this.
When we first launched K2 Elite, we had a sister program called the Accelerator that would run, in another destination, and we ran our first accelerator or our second accelerator. I can't remember. I think it was our first one in Bali, and we had 9 people attend. We call them the Bali 9. Jackie was one of the Bali 9. So she came into K2 very early in the piece with her husband Bruce Paulson. And I became very good friends with both Bruce. Bruce is one of our key leaders in K2 Elite.
Okay, Jackie Paulson just died. Everyone just take a second.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. How precious did
I didn't see that coming. No.
that grace appear.
When you think of situations like this, there's a big part of me that's really torn and upset. But there's another part of me that's very grateful that I had the opportunity to get to know Jack. Great family. Great family, great kids. Out of respect, we're gonna finish the meeting up.
I do honestly believe we should grieve, and for me, having this different perspective, or this perspective of gratitude about death, is not about not grieving. It's about balancing the grief out with more than just loss. Because when someone dies, yes, we lose them, we lose their traits, we lose their, their energy, their personality. But what did we gain? You know, we gained in many cases an incredible relationship. We gained, if we asked the right questions, incredibly valuable lessons. We gained, in many cases, insights and perspectives that we wouldn't have had before. But also, sometimes if we really look, we can also realize that we haven't actually lost anything, that the balance is consistent. Because one of the things I've observed is when people die, oftentimes their traits will show up in others. You may think I'm exaggerating when I say this. And it might even sound morbid, but it's not intended to be morbid. But every morning when I play with my son, I acknowledge the possibility that one of us may not come home. And as a result, man, I'm there. I am there.